Right, okay, we've finished our coffee. So all that's left to put in is one of these. Drops in here. And go in like that, I think. Yep. So let's glue them up. Work a bit of glue in here. Can't do the bottom one until it's been taken off the board, so we can get the top one in. Get the top one stuck in here. Strengthen it up a bit. Then we got the half ribs to go in. Running down the sides. Yeah, just the other day I was teaching a guy, or helping a guy, a new guy, who just started a hobby to fly. And he bought himself I won't say the maker of the glider, or the manufacturer, but it's a nice little glider. Just under a 2 metre wingspan, polystyrene. He bought it before I had a chance to speak to him. Turned up at the field with this thing. Radio, bought the whole kit, the radio, the whole shebang. And yep, and we gave it a look over. Not a bad little glider. Does what it says on the label. And I believe he had flown drones in his backyard and wanted to get into flying model aircraft. So the glider seemed to be the next move. So we set it all up, get the radio working and motors all running and everything. Give it a fly. Everything's okay on it. It flies quite nicely. That day that was a Saturday morning. He had 2 or 3 flights with it. I brought it into land. So the 2 or 3 landings that we had were nice and soft. Then he returns on Sunday morning, and he has 2 or 3 flies in the morning. We have a little something to eat at the club. After dinner we go out and have a fly, and I take it up to a reasonable height and get it all trimmed out nicely and hand the radio over to him, and he opens up the throttle, and there was like a crack, and the motor went forward and the aircraft stayed behind. The glider, I managed to get all the pieces landed in one piece anyway. Got the radio off of him, and it landed, everything landed, and when we looked at it, the motor was mounted in a plastic cone thing stuck to the front of the polystyrene, and that was a problem. It wasn't actually stuck to the front of the polystyrene. There was a couple of pins, plastic points that came out of this plastic thing, which pushed into the polystyrene, and on the back of the plastic, you could stick your finger in there and dig at it, and it looked almost like hot melt glue, but it wasn't melted. Somebody had squirted it in there, or whatever it was, this glue, and pushed it in and not actually pushed it home. So the glue wasn't actually touching the polystyrene, it was only the friction of the two pins going through this foam that was holding the motor. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Nobody was hurt, but can you imagine somebody holding a glider by the wing, yeah, and stood in front of it with a radio control model, with your radio control, and you're giving it full belt on the motor, and the motor letting go? So it'd smack you in the face, or deadly, absolutely deadly. And that's someone sat at a desk just banging these things together, not really caring whether whether it's fit to fly or not. That's a £160 model. £160 model. Up till now, the Tiger Moth here's cost me 68 quid just in materials. So that's a model that could cost you anything from £9,000 to £2,000. So building your own, getting back onto that building board is not such a bad idea, especially with the time we have now. Right, that's that one. Now for the centre ones. Here we go. So these, they go in here like that. So it's just a matter of a little bit of glue. Should do this. Right then. Pop it in. So I find it easier for this is just to glue there. A little drop at the front, a little drop at the front, drop of glue on there, drop of glue on, I'll put it on, a drop of glue on there, drop at the front, don't go too mad. There. Front there. Right. A little drop on here. And some around there. Glue right into that. So you can get the old glue and you can rub it right into where it's got to go. Leave a little bit of it on there. That one slots into there like that. Just take the pressure off of that leading edge. Just cut by CNC and it's cut right. It will slide into place like a glove. So my old CNC getting a bit old now. I've had him for about 10 years. That was a home build CNC. It's not a purchased one. Oop, missed a bit of that. Yeah, it's a home build CNC, so. At the time it was, I think the controller board cost me about, it was a Hobby CNC Pro board. So, one of the very early days of Hobby CNC. In the days of Match 2 to run it. So very, and then we used to use Match 2 had a software with it for, I think we were using the very early G-code softwares. I used it mainly for rib wings, making rib wings like this. That was computer form, 3D, beautiful program. I made a, one of the first models I done with my CNC was a 5-meter wingspan mini mower. And believe me, there's a lot of ribs in a mini mower. And quite a complicated wing setup, and you draw it in computer forms, all drawn. You draw, what I like about that, the actual software, computer for 3D, is you can draw the whole wing, 2, 3, 4 panel, 5 panel wings, all different types of rib configurations, half rib, loads and, whoops. Loads and loads of different settings on it, but you can get the dihedral, panel joining tubes. It's good software. You can do foam wings with it as well, I think. I've never done a foam wing with it. When I started on my first home car, well, we got Profile Pro. That's a good bit of software for foam wings. Profile Pro. That's that one. Now we've got to figure out, spears there. Now we've got to figure out where these go. I've got some spares here because there's a centre wing section here where the rest of these go, so we need to figure out which are which and what are what. So, both identical, so that and that. Slightly lower that one. Slightly lower that one. So they're two the same, they're two the same. So it'll be one of them and one of them then. So that one will go in there. I think that one goes out there. Yep. And that's this other one. Go in there, I think. What's the other one? No, it's that one there. Go in there. Yep. Right. Work them in there. Plenty on here. That's all the front one's in. All the glue nearly used up. Right, that's that there. So what have we got? Got that there. What do I do with that tip? There he is over there. That tip should be dry by now. Certainly feels dry. Just give him a bit of a clean up. Just a little bit proud there. Another brilliant tool. The only problem I had with the old one, the first one I bought, which should be kicking around here somewhere. Oh, that one's gone. He's about here somewhere. The old one I got, I find it difficult to get blades for it. So I had to buy a new one. It takes the new blades. That's that one there. He pops in there then, that's good. So, there it is. One wing complete. The lower one will go in when this one comes off the table. That needs to dry overnight now. So we can guarantee it's all nice and solid. Most of that's cleaned up. Happy with that. Have a quick check, just see if the other one sits on top. This is the other wing. This is where you come to your board and you go like, I think, two left wings. No, we did it right. That's why I find setting it out on a building board like this, right wing, left wing, easy. So that's where the wings will join together here, where they they sit. That's the dihedral we got on them. It's in there, like that. So let's just check to see if they're good. Line this one up with this one. Here. Right. As you can see, marking it all out on the leading edge, trailing edge, everything lines up. Both wings are identical. Absolutely spot on. Yep. Look at that. Really happy with that. Perfect. You're not going to have one wing heavier than the other, one slightly bigger. And don't forget, when you build, a lot of people say to me, oh, I build over a big plan. I bought a plan, full-size plan, or a plan for a model. And they build over a paper plan. I've got a plotter over there, and I can tell you now that paper moves quite considerably. So when it's in a damp, if you print it and it's in a damp like this, I've got an older house, so it's pretty damp here. And if it's not an absolute nice warm sunny day, I don't plot. Because if it's a damp day, the paper moves about, it rolls about, it wrinkles in the plotter. When it's a nice warm dry day, and I take me paper out of me dry store, what I call me dry stores, where I keep all my 3D printing materials and everything. It's all kept at 30 degrees. All my plotting paper goes in there as well. And my solar film goes in there. If you keep your solar film in up there, and then when you take it out, and it stretches a treat. If you let solar film get too cold, it's not that good. So it just pays to set it up right. Come on that line, you better. So yep, that's it. Good. When that's dry, whip them off. We'll add the bottom spar. Oh, there's a couple of things I've got to do there. I can add some strength in there, because that will help before it dries. Right, now then, I can show you that. CNC produces all these lovely little triangulars, and that's a circular cutout. They come in handy, little. I mean, how many times you come across where you need a little wooden washer just to strengthen a hole, or so when you put a bolt in there it doesn't fall to bits. And I'm going to need a couple of them. There's one, two of these right angles, well, nearly right angles. I'm not absolutely sure they're perfect right angles. Depends where they were cut on the machine, but they basically come out of holes like this. It's offcuts from here. No, I don't think it's an offcut from there, but that's where they come from. And you get quite a few different offcuts. And I just chuck them in a bucket. Just tidy them up a bit here. There, that's that one. One to go in there. Handy little thing. Just a really good straight piece of wood, pine, and then I buy sandpaper, rows like this, varying thicknesses, and then just staple it onto there. And it just keeps everything nice and straight. Could do with a new bit of sandpaper, really. Good for foam wings as well. You get a foam wing, but when you putting sandpaper on this one here is flipping this side, and you fix this side. When you're doing one for foam wing, you want a minimum of 2 inches wide. So I use 100mm wide sandpaper, and then staple both sides up, nice and tight, and then drop your foam template or your foam core in the bottom cut and just run it across the top like that, and it just cleans it up, an absolute treat. And then blow it off, and then when you glue in the wing as well, I use a little mini roller and glue me contact adhesive onto the top of the foam, and then I damp my Obici vinegar, just spray it with a little bit of water both sides, and then apply the contact adhesive to the Obici vinegar. You don't get any fluff on the roller's nice and clean. You just bang it back into a tub of water, and the roller's kept nice and moist and clean. I can do 10 wings in a day with the same roller, and it's just clean off all that fluff that you get on that wing. You get a little bit of fluff all over the wing where it's dragged through, so that's good. Right, I need to pack this one up a little bit, so we're going to drop a piece of wood in there like that, and another piece, and this one's going to go in there. But as you can see, that's an angle there, obviously 3 degrees, yeah? So, 2 ways we can do it. We can pop that in there. We can pop that in there. Mark a line there. That gives us that. You can get our thing now, watch this, because sometimes you can slip and it takes a skin right off the top of your knuckle. So, fair warning. But I find if you push the planer down like that, it gives you a nice edge. Just get it online, take your sander and just drag it back towards you. Okay, like that. Just clean the edge up a bit. Drop it back in. See if it fits. No, it doesn't. I'm not sure, there's a bit of dirt in the corner, a bit of glue in the corner there. Right, so let's just nick that corner away. See what we get now. So he's a bit heavy on the point. Okay, so all we have to do is take it from the front, pulling it back, and just taking a little bit off the point. A little bit off the heel now. A little bit too far with it. That'll do us. Double check. A bit more. Spot on. Right, little drop of glue. There we go. Enough there to finish that off. Yep. Make sure you get that glue right into that grain. That's lovely. Drop him down here. In on top of there. That's him a treat. Lovely job. That's that one. Well, where's the other one? I haven't got one to go in here. Okay. That's not bad there. So just give them a bit of a tidy up.